Hello again, everyone. We're going to get started in about 2 minutes. So please take your official seat and we'll get started momentarily. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Dr. John Raymond, President and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin, and I'd like to welcome you to today's commencement ceremony. As you know, today's commencement ceremony is unlike any other in the 128-year history of the Medical College of Wisconsin, as we've had to continue to adjust the way we celebrate momentous occasions like this because of the pandemic. Today, we celebrate in person with many of our graduates and virtually with many other individuals, including graduates, their families and friends, faculty and staff, our honorees. Our celebration today reflects the continued threat of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has forced us to live, learn, and work differently, but which we hope is diminishing through the power of science, which led to the development of remarkably effective and safe vaccines. To our graduating students, I thank you for your flexibility, maturity, and resilience. We're proud of your response to this unprecedented challenge and to the disruption of your studies over the last 14 months. Thank you for your leadership, empathy, and your trust in science. Thank you for being champions of rationality and for being extremely caring and supportive of your colleagues and patients throughout your education, and especially during this pandemic. Thanks also to those who supported you, our graduates, during this time of distancing by connecting to you with love, grace, and equanimity. To the parents, significant others, spouses, children, friends, and loved ones joining us today, we're deeply grateful to each and to all of you. To our graduates, the COVID-19 pandemic has prepared you well to meet the challenges of healthcare, science, pharmacy practice, and leadership. Today's the day that you achieve a milestone and take the next step in your lives and careers of service. Now you join the ranks of healers and scientists as our colleagues and as our inspiration. In addition to paying tribute to our graduating students today, we're also privileged to recognize 8 individuals who will receive an honorary doctoral degree, one of the highest honors that an educational institution can bestow. And you'll hear from these special individuals very shortly. I now would like to introduce Jay Williams, Chair of the Board of Trustees of the Medical College of Wisconsin, to offer his congratulations to the graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Raymond. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, permit me to extend our sincere congratulations to each and every graduate. We take great pleasure and great pride in your singular accomplishment. As you commence on your new beginnings, we salute you and wish you well. We are confident you are all well prepared to meaningfully engage in the service of others, and so we wish you every success in this next phase of your life's journey. Congratulations and our very best wishes to you.
President Raymond, members of the board, faculty leaders, family members, loved ones, and most importantly, our graduates. Today's commencement ceremony is being held at an unprecedented time in our lives. The coronavirus pandemic has changed every facet of our society and our world, and has required us here at MCW to adjust our approach to everything we do, including our education and graduation of one of this nation's most important and precious assets, you, tomorrow's healthcare providers and scientists. To our graduating students, I greatly appreciate your support, flexibility, and resilience as we were forced to alter your educational and research experiences in the name of health and safety. No one could have predicted the turn of events over the past 14 months. I am deeply grateful for the manner in which you've approached this unprecedented disruption in your graduation year. As an alumnus of the Medical College of Wisconsin and someone who has spent my entire faculty career here at MCW, I've never been prouder of the people of MCW and most particularly our learners. We are so very proud of your response to the difficulties in learning brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. Facing enormous challenges, you have responded with courage, resolve, exemplary professionalism, volunteerism, qualities that exemplify the very best in those who seek to be healers and discover new knowledge to change lives. Never have these qualities been more needed than in the world today. I also wish to recognize those who have stood by your sides as you've navigated not only these difficult times, but also the many other times in which you've needed support and encouragement as you've reached these enormous milestones. Those family members and loved ones who are virtually watching as you receive your degrees have been an invaluable part of this journey, and I know you will thank them in a special way as you celebrate today. Your journey and upward path at MCW have prepared you well to meet the challenges of your careers. And as I have video chatted with many of you over the last several months, I know that this global pandemic has enabled your preparation and maturation for the future in ways not possible under normal circumstances. At this time, it is my great pleasure to introduce my dear friend and colleague, Lily Marks, who is our first honorary degree recipient and today's keynote speaker. Lily and I spent several years working together as members of the Board of Directors of the Association of American Medical Colleges, the AAMC, where she was a valued mentor and thought partner. She served on the AAMC board from 2015 to 2020, including a one-year term as board chair prior to my taking the helm of that board in 2019. During her insightful plenary address at the AAMC annual meeting in 2019, Lily asked more than 4,000 leaders in attendance to think and act differently in order to overcome forces that threaten the core of academic medicine, noting that demographic, economic, and political and market forces are reshaping the academic medicine landscape and converging to challenge and potentially erode the core missions of education, research, and clinical care that unify its institutions. Last year, Lily retired after a decade as Vice President for Health Affairs for the University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus, which includes the university's School of Medicine, Dental Medicine, Pharmacy, and Public Health, along with the College of Nursing, Graduate School, and the University of Colorado Hospital and Children's Hospital, Colorado. Prior to her health campus leadership role, Lily spent 2 decades as both Senior Associate Dean for Finance and Administration at the School of Medicine and as Executive Director of University of Colorado Medicine, the not-for-profit faculty practice organization. A much sought-after thought leader and administrator, Lily currently serves on the board of directors of the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City, the Fitzsimmons Redevelopment Authority, the Global Down Syndrome Foundation, and the Rose Community Foundation. She also is a member of the corporate board of directors of OrthoFix Medical Incorporated. As an expert in the field of healthcare administration, Lily also has served as chair of the board of the University of Colorado Hospital and a member of the UC Health System and Children's Hospital Colorado Board of Directors. Additionally, she served on the advisory board for clinical research of the National Institutes of Health and chaired the Board of Association of Academic Health Centers. Lily has been the recipient of numerous well-deserved and prestigious recognitions, including the University of Colorado Board of Regents University Medal for her transformational contributions to the institution. She is also a past recipient of the Denver Business Journal's Outstanding Woman in Business Award and has been recognized as one of the 25 most influential women in Colorado, as well as one of the 50 most powerful people in Denver. In 2019, the publication Women Inc. named Lily as one of the nation's most influential corporate board of directors. Lily is a frequent national speaker regarding medical school economics, healthcare policy and economics, clinical practice management, and leadership issues in academic medicine. I am very grateful that Lily Marks has chosen to share her insights, wisdom, and passion for academic medicine as today's commencement keynote speaker.
President Raymond, deans, faculty, and graduates, I am honored and humbled to provide a few remarks on this very important day, which marks both an end and a beginning of important chapters in your life. Graduation ceremonies allow you to celebrate your hard work and accomplishments, to savor the empowerment of this moment, and to consider the possibilities that lie ahead. But although these rites of passage are largely about looking forward, they are also important opportunities to recognize and thank those people in your life who have supported your journey. On this occasion, my father's words still echo in my mind. "Lily," he said, "I carry a lunch pail so that one day you may carry a briefcase." Your graduation today honors the sacrifices and contributions of people who have likewise supported your journey. You stand taller today because they allowed you to stand on their shoulders. With their support, you've achieved one of the few gifts in life that can never be taken away from you, your education. I spent considerable time thinking about what I could possibly say in a few short minutes today that would be memorable, relevant, and impactful enough that you would even remember it by dinner time. And I concluded that I probably couldn't accomplish that task on my own. So I did what many speakers before me have done. I borrowed the voices of others to help. What you just heard was an audio clip of people in cities across America and around the world raising their voices in a symphony of respect and appreciation for healthcare workers who have become the frontline warriors in the battle against the COVID-19 pandemic. You started your studies at the Medical College of Wisconsin in a pre-COVID world, At a time when our society was expressing a growing distrust of government, increasing cynicism about almost every profession, and an eroding belief in science and data. The pandemic has rightfully reestablished respect for health professionals and researchers. While the rest of society retreated into a socially distanced world, these courageous healers ran into the fray, risking their own well-being to save others, all the while using their expertise and ingenuity to devise new treatments, drug therapies, and vaccines. As you now join the ranks of these clinicians, researchers, and innovators, consider what will be required to maintain the mantle of trust conferred upon you today. I suggest that in part, it will require you to be active, honest, politically agnostic brokers of information, education, and clinical services, steadfast in your adherence to the latest scientific knowledge and data. And it requires that you must not only do things right, you must also do the right thing, which is often far more difficult. The philosopher Soren Kierkegaard wrote, "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards." As I look backward on my career and experience, I'd like to impart just a small bit of what I've come to understand, illustrated by a few anecdotes, with the hope that it might be helpful as you move forward in your careers. First, honesty, integrity, and trust are not just platitudes. They are essential elements of success. Trust is the foundation and the enabler for much of what you wish to accomplish in both your personal and professional lives. Once broken, trust is difficult, if not impossible, to repair. I also learned and want to emphasize the importance of intellectual curiosity. Early in my career, I was present for a conversation I've never forgotten between the medical school dean, the chair of medicine, and the residency program director, as they considered whether to terminate a resident in the middle of his training. They all agreed he was, by far, one of the smartest residents they had ever seen, but on several occasions demonstrated that he was a danger to his patients because he repeatedly refused to accept that he didn't know what he didn't know. The degrees you earn today reflect the huge reservoir of knowledge you have acquired to date, but your work is only beginning. To do right by those who entrust you with their care, you must become a lifelong learner, accepting what you don't know and working diligently to fill in the gaps and to stay current with the advances. You wouldn't be here if you weren't accomplished and intelligent. But are you curious? That's more than book smarts. In my experience, intellectual curiosity is an essential ingredient of success. It is the persistent desire to know more about more, even if it is tangential to your work. I encourage you to broaden both your reading list and your experiential learning beyond the boundaries of your professional specialty. Doing so will broaden your knowledge and perspectives and provide a rich and important context for the work that you do. It will propel your career and also enrich your life. Perhaps one of the most important things I've learned is that one's life and career journey is rife with paradoxes, with no absolute answer to an equation that has two valid but often conflicting variables or choices. Here are four I urge you to consider now and as you navigate what lies ahead. The first paradox relates to humility and audacity. We must all have the humility and self-awareness to recognize the limits of our knowledge and our temporal impact on the world. But we must also have the audacity to want to make the world better and to believe we can and must make it better. A few years ago, I was faced with a rare clinical diagnosis that presented substantial risks and required unique and exquisite skill to treat. Because of my leadership position at a major academic medical center, it was difficult not to seek treatment within our system from our own highly esteemed faculty. Instead, I journeyed 1,000 miles for a procedure by someone considered the nation's leading expert. During the pre-op appointment, the physician acknowledged the political sensitivity of my decision. But then he assured me I had made the right choice, because after all, why would I want to take my Mercedes to the corner gas station mechanic? That statement did more than offend me. It actually undermined my confidence, but not in the clinician's technical skill. The alarm bells that went off in my head regarded the inherent risk of entrusting my care to someone whose raging ego might cloud his clinical judgment at a critical moment. As clinicians and scientists, you have the ability to change lives and to save lives. It takes a good bit of audacity to exercise that much impact and power over another human's life and well-being. But it also requires the humility to acknowledge that your interventions will inevitably create varying degrees of risk for your patients, and there will be things you just can't fix. More often than not, doing the right thing will require you to navigate a razor-thin line balancing the counterweights of audacity and humility. The second paradox is the tension between principle and principle. By definition, principle, spelled PLE, represents a fundamental belief or value of an individual, of an organization, or society. Principle, spelled PAL, is the financial definition of the word. Throughout your career, you will encounter circumstances that create significant tension and conflict between the two. Your personal financial demands and lifestyle expectations, combined with the expectations of your workplace, can create pressure to generate more revenue, to increase patient volumes, to publish more papers, or win more grants. While these are all valid goals, they sometimes converge to challenge your fidelity to the core principles of integrity, honesty, patient safety. Successfully navigating this paradox is central to upholding the solemn oaths of professional conduct you will take during today's commencement ceremony. I urge you to consider how much daylight, if any, is acceptable between principle and principle. Third, the U.S. healthcare system is itself a paradox of exceptional achievement and shameful disparities. Scientific breakthroughs coexist with a sparse public health infrastructure and a health equity crisis that, for many, fails to meet even basic human needs. America has proven we can develop multiple vaccines in record time to battle a world-altering illness. Yet our country's life expectancy and health status lags much of the developed world due to a lack of prevention and access to care. This past year, as our healthcare system's expertise and nobility soared, its flaws were laid bare and magnified. COVID may be in retreat, but now we must face the long-festering virus we haven't failed to diagnose, but we have yet to treat. Fighting the public health inequity pandemic will require more than a timely vaccine, adequate bed capacity, and PPE. If we are to sustain the mantle of trust we've earned in the past year, we must all work earnestly to address the issue of health equity and the social determinants of health. Finally, I ask you to consider the paradox of technology and artificial intelligence versus human and emotional intelligence. I suspect many of you have at some point in your life imagined yourself proudly entering a patient room in your white coat with a stethoscope around your neck. Over a century ago, the stethoscope became a major diagnostic advance in medicine. Since then, medical research, enhanced by waves of new technology and bioinformatics capability, have produced stunning scientific advances, pharmaceutical breakthroughs, and major improvements in clinical care. Today, we are on the threshold of another significant advance, the new era of artificial intelligence. Yet as transformational as these advances will be for how and where care is delivered and by whom, they augment but cannot replace human intelligence and human interaction. Keystrokes cannot replace eye contact. Technology is no substitute for empathy and humanism. Robots cannot address the fears and anxieties of patients who turn to us in the most vulnerable moments of their lives. Only you can fill those voids. You cannot just use your stethoscope as a tool to listen to your patients' hearts. Your most important tool is to listen with your heart. Only then can you understand the full dimension of your patient's symptoms, diseases, and wishes. That will allow you to deliver customized, patient-centered care and will enable you to form that sacred partnership with your patients. It is that human partnership that defines the healthcare heroes of today and the future. Thank you for the opportunity to share these humble observations on this special day. My career has many, many more yesterdays than tomorrows. But you, class of 2021, you are our tomorrow, with the power and responsibility to artfully navigate through these many paradoxes and to help shape what healthcare in America looks like in the years ahead. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Lily, for the wonderful remarks to the graduating students. Hello and congratulations to the class of 2021. It's so nice to be with you on this very special day. I'm Matt Goldblatt, president of the MCW and Marquette Medical Alumni Association. I graduated from MCW in 1997. I completed my residency in 2004, and I've been on the faculty here since 2009. On behalf of the MCW and Marquette Medical Alumni Association, I welcome you to our proud and accomplished community. You have received your education and training at an institution that not only teaches you the latest methods, treatments, and standards of care, but develops them. Reflections of the past year highlight the importance of physicians, scientists, pharmacists, and healthcare leaders, illustrating the enormity of our pledge to dedicate ourselves to the service of humanity. The Alumni Association is an important resource that builds a lifetime connection to the Medical College of Wisconsin and each other. Please be sure to stay connected and maintain a strong relationship with each other and with MCW. Students will always need to connect with alumni like you. I wish you all the best in what I'm sure will be exciting and fulfilling careers as both healthcare providers and leaders. Thank you.
I am honored to be sponsoring Michelle Ford to receive an Honorary Doctorate of Humanities degree from MCW. I believe Michelle has earned this prestigious honor because of her dedication to community through leadership roles with the Alliance for Children and Families, United Neighborhood Centers of Milwaukee, and her board leadership in particular with America's Black Holocaust Museum, to name a few. Throughout Michelle's career, she has been a tireless advocate and laser focused on the issue of population health and its importance to making Milwaukee and our region and community a better place for all. Congratulations, Michelle.
Greetings, MCW faculty, students, and friends. I'd first like to thank the Medical College of Wisconsin for this tremendous honor. I am proud to be among the ranks of so many other distinguished leaders receiving this recognition. I present myself to you humbly before you as standing on the shoulders of my mother, Harriet Ford, a single mother of four who paved the way for me as a single mother of four to be the first generation college graduate and to go on to attain a master's degree in our family. She has inspired me through hard work while serving all mankind with a giving heart. I look forward to continuing Mom's legacy through passing of these same values on to my children and my grandchildren, and also by continuing to serve as a mentor for future generations of students who will champion our efforts in this country to achieve a more healthy and equitable society. I truly believe now is the time to transform healthcare through systems change to achieve equity. Graduates, it's your time. Make it count.
I am honored to be sponsoring Dr. Eve Hall to receive the Honorary Doctorate of Humanities degree from the Medical College of Wisconsin. I believe Dr. Hall has earned this prestigious award because of her dedication to community, particularly through her leadership of the Milwaukee Urban League, the African American Chamber of Commerce, and her leadership roles within the state of Wisconsin. Throughout Dr. Hall's career, she has brought people together from all backgrounds and experiences with the goal of making Milwaukee, the region, and the state better by focusing on issues of health, economics, employment, and race. Congratulations, Dr. Hall.
Thank you, Medical College of Wisconsin, and especially to you, Dr. John Raymond, for considering me for this honorary doctorate. You know how surprised I was and how humbled I was to receive that call from you. The Medical College of Wisconsin is doing phenomenal things in regards to COVID-19. So to receive this type of an honor is really special to me, given the disproportionate number of African Americans and other people of color that have been affected by this pandemic. So what does this mean for me? It encourages me, it inspires me to do even more in the arena that I now hold. And what I would encourage the Medical College of Wisconsin graduates to do is to really stand for health equity and to help ensure that as many people as possible are healthy. We are an interdependent society, and the more of us that are healthy, the better we are as a whole. Thank you again.
My name is John Moyer, Professor and Director of the Institute for Health and Equity at MCW. I'm delighted to sponsor Mr. George Hinton to receive the Honorary Doctorate of Humanities. I believe Mr. Hinton earned this prestigious honor because of his dedication to health, economic, and social development of people in Milwaukee, especially those experiencing the challenges of poverty. Throughout his career as director with Children's Wisconsin, president of Aurora Sinai Medical Center, and CEO of the Social Development Commission in Milwaukee, George has led people, built relationships and teams, acted strategically, and courageously advocated for vulnerable people. We honor his work to strengthen families, to support the dreams of youth, and to support economic vitality in Milwaukee.
I want to thank Dr. John Moyer and Dr. John Raymond and the Medical College of Wisconsin for this opportunity to join the ranks of these distinguished honorary degree recipients. I hope in the future our graduates will continue to enhance the health of our community and become champions and advocates for those most vulnerable. On a personal note, I want to thank and recognize my grandmother, my mother, my children, and my extended circle of family and friends. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Art Dursey, Professor and Director of the Center for Bioethics and Medical Humanities at the Medical College of Wisconsin. I'm sponsoring Richard N. Katschke to receive the Honorary Doctorate of Humane Letters. Dick Katschke has earned this prestigious honor because of his long and strong dedication to MCW. He led MCW's Public Affairs Department for 30 years, telling the compelling stories of our work to our community, our state, and the nation. he finished as the longest serving medical school communications leader in the United States. Since his appointment in 2016 as MCW's chief historian, he has worked on telling MCW's longer story over its century and a quarter of existence in his comprehensive book, Knowledge Changing Life, A History of the Medical College of Wisconsin, 1893 to 2019. Dick Katschke is MCW's storyteller extraordinaire.
I'm extremely grateful to MCW for bestowing me with this honor. This is the 36th commencement ceremony that I've witnessed at MCW, and I always wonder what becomes of the graduates. As MCW's chief historian, I've seen these MCW graduates go on to become accomplished physicians and scientists, leaders in academic medicine, including here at MCW, and even dean of MCW's School of Medicine. I know that if in the future I'm a patient and our paths should cross, I will be in good hands.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Cheryl Marana. As an MCW professor and a senior vice president, it is my honor to sponsor Dr. Paula Lucy as a recipient of the Doctor of Medical Science honorary degree. Dr. Lucy is the epitome of a servant leader, and she is an inspiration to us all. She is an exemplar of the profession of nursing and instills those values in future nurses. She has an unwavering commitment to improving health in our communities and to communities and academics working in genuine partnership toward that goal. As a leader once said, leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that the impact lasts well beyond your absence. Paula, you are just such a leader. I know you will continue to inspire us toward healthier communities.
I want to thank the Board of Trustees and President Raymond for this outstanding award, and it's going to be the highlight of my career, and I really appreciate this honor. I also want to thank Dr. Cheryl Marana, who's been my mentor, my partner, and my friend. We've done a lot of these accomplishments together, and I'm very appreciative of her activities and her contribution to my success. I'm dedicating this award to my father, Thomas Lucy. My father was the first person in his family to go to college. Since then, all of his children and all of his grandchildren have gone to college, most with multiple degrees. And when he decided to go to college, it wasn't because of the people that were supposed to be encouraging him to go to college. It wasn't because of school counselors or his parents. It was because of random people that he trusted and that had influence on him. People like physicians. And you, as physicians of the future, should think about how you can do that. If you view your patients as holistic, as nurses do, and as I know my good friend Dr. Raymond will say, nurses rock, nurses view patients holistically. Remember that your patients have a life outside of your clinic room, outside of the hospital, and think about how you might influence them to improve their lives in a positive way. Thank you very much.
It's my honor to act as sponsor to honorary degree recipients, Mr. Corey Nettles and Mr. Tim Sheehy. Corey Nettles was nominated for the Honorary Doctor of Humanities degree to recognize his unwavering dedication and commitment to the Medical College of Wisconsin, the city of Milwaukee, and the state of Wisconsin. Mr. Nettles has been an invaluable member of the MCW Board of Trustees for the past 15 years, including serving as its chair from 2018 to 2020. As the managing director of Milwaukee-based private equity firm Generation Growth Capital Incorporated, he champions and bolsters small businesses. Corey also is former secretary of the Wisconsin Department of Commerce and is a former partner with the Milwaukee-based law firm Quarles & Brady, LLP. Mr. Nettles mentored many young people and worked to diversify the workforce. Corey's worked to raise funds for many organizations focused on improved educational and work opportunities for economically disadvantaged youth, and he serves on many diversified boards of directors across the region and the state.
I want to thank the Medical College of Wisconsin for bestowing this great honor upon me. I'm deeply humbled and honored to be joining a very esteemed group of prior recipients. Given the events of the last year or so with the COVID pandemic and its impact on our community, I've become so much aware of the important and vital role that the Medical College of Wisconsin plays in our community in terms of our overall public health. I also am mindful of the important role that our graduates, now doctors, play in assuring the health and safety of our community. I'm extremely excited about the difference that I know you current graduates will play in making our community healthy and safe. Congratulations on your graduation, and thanks again to the Medical College of Wisconsin for bestowing this honor upon me.
Congratulations and thank you, Corey. Mr. Timothy R. Sheehy was nominated for the Honorary Doctor of Humanities degree to recognize his exemplary leadership as president of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce in helping to improve Metro Milwaukee as a place to invest capital, grow businesses, create jobs, and ensure the health of our communities for everyone. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Tim has been an invaluable partner to the Medical College of Wisconsin as we've continued to provide trusted, science-based information and candid conversations on the intersection between health and the economy in southeastern Wisconsin. This partnership has helped business leaders and influencers, including elected officials throughout the state, to make informed and time-sensitive decisions about COVID-19 trends as well as economic trends. It also has provided these individuals with an open channel for questions on a wide range of COVID and business-related topics.
Well, I'm grateful and humbled to join those who have received this honorary degree from such a distinguished organization as the Medical College of Wisconsin. You know, if ever there was a year to highlight the need for the science of medicine and the value of the healthcare profession, 2020 was it. So my message to you as graduates, go forth to a world that needs you now more than ever. Thank you.
Congratulations and sincere thanks, Tim. And congratulations to all of our honorary degree recipients. Today, all of our honorary degree recipients will be conferred a doctoral degree. So by virtue of the authority delegated to me upon the recommendation of our commencement committee and by action of the Medical College of Wisconsin Board of Trustees, I confer upon you doctorate degrees from the Medical College of Wisconsin, honoris causa. Congratulations. Now at this time, I'd like to introduce Dr. George E. McKinnon, founding dean and professor of the Medical College of Wisconsin's School of Pharmacy.
Thank you, President Raymond. And importantly, thank you for your support these past 6 years to realize the vision for the School of Pharmacy as exemplified by these graduates soon to be before you today. Hello, graduates, family, friends, colleagues, and trustees. I'm Dr. George E. McKinnon, founder and dean of the Medical College of Wisconsin School of Pharmacy and professor. To all viewing this ceremony, I sincerely hope that you, your families, friends, and colleagues have remained safe during this past year of the pandemic and civil unrest. Today, May 21st, 2021, represents the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, sacrifices, certainly late nights and early mornings, and yes, tenacity from all of you in pursuit of your PharmD or Doctor of Pharmacy degree here. You all have persevered and exhibited resiliency in this COVID pandemic to achieve your PharmD degree in unprecedented times. These traits will serve you well as a pharmacist in the future, and yes, as a healthcare provider. And make no mistake, pharmacists are indeed healthcare providers should anyone question you or ask otherwise. It's hard to recall what's happened these past 3 years in your time with us. When you joined us, our country was in the middle of a prescription opioid epidemic, and we still are. It's just shrouded by other ongoing catastrophic events. We too have observed social unrest and continue with polarizing political debates. And today, we are emerging from the largest global pandemic in the last 100 years and are beginning to see that emerging light at the end of the tunnel of darkness. The pandemic exposed numerous shortcomings in our healthcare system and inequities. Make no mistake, these and other events will impact you personally and professionally. Yet you and your profession have always and will continue to serve society admirably. From the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, that included nasopharyngeal diagnostic screening at pharmacies conducted by pharmacists and student pharmacists, to the present that includes COVID-19 vaccinations given by student pharmacists and pharmacists, and the near future that will likely include a COVID-19 vaccine booster by the profession, we have indeed stepped forward during this time of public health need. As I've said to others here, there are two types of people, those who run to put out a fire and those who don't. This is the time for our firefighters, you as student pharmacists and soon-to-be pharmacists, to run and put out these fires by providing COVID-19 shots. On our campus here in Milwaukee, the MCW School of Pharmacy led efforts along with our Office of Research to set up an operational COVID-19 vaccination clinic that began immunizations in late 2020 of December. We were able to achieve 100% participation from our faculty and staff, as well as student pharmacists from the School of Pharmacy, contributing over 4,500 hours of time in over 45 clinic days of operation, providing almost 20,000 immunizations. Thank you for those of you that participated in these efforts while on campus, as well as those at your practice sites providing the COVID-19 vaccinations. So why were we successful? Well, there's no simple answer. I do believe that it lies in that we were prepared in how we educate you, our student pharmacists, as well as advocating for our role as a profession. As exemplified in the words of Aristotle, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So what are your habits to be ready for the next catastrophic event or simply seeing the next patient as a pharmacist? I am confident that the traits that you have honed here in your formal education and the acquisition of knowledge, skills, and abilities will serve you well as you embark upon your professional careers, wherever that journey may take each of you. Remember, it's also the attitudes and behaviors that one takes into practice that will reflect upon you and your profession. Yet your work and our work is not done. We must advocate for team-based approaches to healthcare delivery, always challenging the status quo of regulatory and professional positions when advocating for patients' welfare by expanding our professional roles with other health team care members. Remember, team science leads to team care. When we established the School of Pharmacy in 2015, we set out to develop and deliver an innovative PharmD curriculum to produce graduates that embody our vision as pharmacists of the future, yet ready for practice today. I subscribe to all of you that we have indeed delivered on this promise as exemplified in these soon-to-be graduates. I am proud of each and every one of you in so many ways. Now, I want to take a moment to recognize student pharmacist Sean Blazer, an involved and well-respected member of the class of 2021, who has maintained and grown his military career throughout his enrollment in the PharmD program. On numerous occasions, Mr. Blazer has stepped away from his coursework to participate in training in the Army, engage in active duty with the National Guard, and pursue military officer training. Because of these commitments, we will celebrate Mr. Blazer's formal graduation in December of this year, and while he's not receiving his diploma today, he will always be a member of the MCW School of Pharmacy class of 2021. Sean, please rise so we may thank you for your service to our country and your commitment to the pharmacy profession and patient care. And so now, it gives me great pleasure to take the oath of a pharmacist with all of you. So please stand and read along with me. Okay? I promise to devote myself to a life of service with others through the profession of pharmacy. In fulfilling this vow, I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concerns. I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to assure optimal outcomes for my patients. I will respect and protect all personal and health information entrusted to me. I will accept the lifelong obligation to improve my professional knowledge and competence. I will hold myself and my colleagues to the highest principles of our professional, moral, ethical, and legal conduct. I will embrace and advocate changes that improve patient care. I will utilize my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values to prepare the next generation of pharmacists. I take these vows voluntarily with the full realization of the responsibility with which I am trusted to the public. Thank you. Please remain standing for the conferral of degrees. President Raymond, please join me in the front of the auditorium as I present these candidates to you for the doctor degree of pharmacy. President Raymond, on behalf of the faculty of the Medical College of Wisconsin, I present these candidates for the degree Doctor of Pharmacy and recommend that degree be conferred upon them.
Thank you, Dean McKinnon. And I just want to say, behind this mask, I'm smiling and beaming with pride for the pharmacists that you are today and will be going into the future. So candidates for the degree of Doctor of Pharmacy, by the authority delegated to me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Pharmacy and pronounce you the newest graduates of the Medical College of Wisconsin. Graduates, please be seated. I'd now like to invite Joel Spees, MCW School of Pharmacy's Director of Academic and Student Affairs, to the podium to introduce our graduates.
Good morning. At this time, we will begin to call our graduates forward, and we will start with the graduates who are with us in person in alphabetical order. So I invite Dr. Ehab Abarashed, Assistant Dean for Curricular Affairs, to join Dean McKinnon for the hooding of the graduates. Dr. Abby Engelroth. Dr. Jessica Berezowski. Dr. Sanaya Bathina. Dr. Aristotle Bida. Dr. Caslin Choi. Dr. Aubrey Cutler. Dr. Amy Young. Dr. Young is the recipient of the American Society of Health System Pharmacists Student Society Officer Recognition Award, as well as the Pharmacy Society of Wisconsin Student Achievement Award and the Student Society of Health System Pharmacists Graduation Cords. Dr. Roberto Flote. Dr. Flote is a recipient of the Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experience Certificate of Merit. Dr. Dylan Glaser. Thank you, Dr. Abarashid. I now invite Dr. Nishat Gurgis, Chair of the Department of Biopharmaceutical Sciences, to join Dean McKinnon in the hooding of the graduates. Dr. Joshua Grutza. Dr. Melissa Hallman. Dr. Hallman is a recipient of the American Pharmacists Association Academy of Student Pharmacists Graduation Honor Cords. Dr. Glenn Hartle II. Dr. Lee Huynh. Dr. Huynh is a recipient of the Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experience Certificate of Merit. Dr. Rachel Jasinski. Dr. Amy Kazmarowski. Dr. Parker Knipple. Dr. Knipple is the recipient of the Friends of the Medical College of Wisconsin Service Award, the Interprofessional Education Student Pharmacist Award, and the Student Society of Health System Pharmacists Graduation Cords. Dr. Stephanie Keene. Dr. Kyle Anthony Liano. Dr. Liano is a recipient of the Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experience Certificate of Merit. Thank you, Dr. Gurgis. I now invite Dr. Kajwa Lore, Chair of the Department of Clinical Sciences, to join Dean McKinnon in the hooding of the graduates. Dr. Paku Lee. Dr. Abby Mabey. Dr. Mabey is a recipient of the Student Society of Health System Pharmacists Graduation Cords. Dr. Holly Mays. Dr. Asia Mian. Dr. Mian is a recipient of the Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experience Certificate of Merit, as well as the Outstanding Academic Achievement Award. Dr. Christy Packner. Dr. Packner is the recipient of the Outstanding Student Ambassador Award. Dr. Jacqueline Pollock. Dr. Thomas Ringsred. Dr. Obada Sarsour. Dr. Molly Schmidt. Dr. Schmidt is the recipient of the Fostering Healthy Communities Award. And thank you, Dr. Lohr. I now invite Dr. Sarah Revelinsky, Director of Experiential Education and Professional Laboratories, join Dean McKinnon in the hooding of the graduates. Dr. Alexander Sperry. Dr. Sperry is the recipient of the Student Pharmacist Research Dissemination Award and the Student Society of Health System Pharmacists Graduation Cords. Dr. Anthony Swilverdes. Dr. Isabel Svetoslavsky. Dr. Svetoslavsky is a recipient of the Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experience Certificate of Merit and the United States Public Health Service Excellence in Public Health Pharmacy Award, one of 10 recipients nationally. Dr. John Tierney. Dr. Tierney is a recipient of the American Pharmacists Association Academy of Student Pharmacists Graduation Honor Cords, as well as the Senior Recognition Certificate. Dr. Anna Marie Tomajic. Dr. Tomajic is a recipient of the Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experience Certificate of Merit, the Outstanding Academic Achievement Award, and the Viatris Excellence in Pharmacy Award. Dr. Jacqueline Utri. Dr. Jacob Voiles. Dr. Amanda Walter. Dr. Walter is a recipient of the Outstanding Academic Achievement Award, the Pharmacist of the Future Award, and the Student Society of Health System Pharmacists Graduation Cords. Dr. Kevin Yang. Dr. Mackenzie Yerkes. Congratulations. I would now like to introduce to you the graduates who are with us virtually today. The candidates for the degree Doctor of Pharmacy: Dr. Mackenzie Bevry, Dr. Marie Dobernig, Dr. Princess Graf, Dr. Megan Grohusky, Dr. Joseph Hale, Dr. Sandy Hersilli, Dr. Tyler Jones, Dr. Karina Lister, Dr. Duck Wynn, Dr. Hunwoo Park, Dr. Eric Ripley, Dr. Michael Stubenball, Dr. Adrian Wellborn, Dr. John Winters. Congratulations to all of our graduates. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. McKinnon back to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Spies. So as we come to a conclusion in this transitional yet symbolic ceremony, I want to share a few principles for you to consider as you go forth blazing your career paths in pharmacy, beginning in residency training or direct to career positions as pharmacists. So as you engage with patients and caregivers and other healthcare providers, please consider these points embodied in the 4 words that are symbolic to the School of Pharmacy. First, continue to learn. You are doctorally educated and know more about medications than any other health profession. Yet new knowledge is not stagnant, and you need to remain informed of new emerging therapies to be effective for your patients and colleagues. Hone your skills and add new ones, and don't let them atrophy. Second, engage. Bring an attitude of engagement and collaboration to all that you do. Success is meant to be shared and not in isolation. Go into a room and clap alone, then have a colleague go into that same room and clap with you. The latter is collaboration. Celebrate such opportunities for engagement. Third, innovate. Be inquisitive and willing to continue to learn. Get outside your comfort zone and try new approaches to deliver high-quality patient care. Successful individuals often say yes more than no. Fourth, advocate. The future of your practice is now. Don't expect others to change practice for you. That is for the better. Inaction and silence are not options. In closing, remember that success is not measured in hours worked or prescriptions filled. It's measured in the lives of others touched and impacted daily. Reground yourself daily as to why you chose pharmacy as a profession. You will always be part of the MCW family and the School of Pharmacy, Pharmily, spelled P-H-A-R-M-I-L-Y. Thank you again for the privilege to have served as your founding dean of the MCW School of Pharmacy. Be well. I invite President Raymond to the podium for his final remarks.
Thank you, Dean McKinnon. In closing, I thank all of you for choosing the Medical College of Wisconsin and for entrusting us with your education and your well-being. Colleagues, on behalf of our faculty, staff, alumni, and Board of Trustees, we welcome you to the profession of pharmacy, and we eagerly anticipate your future successes, accomplishments, and contributions to the betterment of humankind. This now concludes our commencement ceremony, and I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Ushers will escort our faculty hooders out of the auditorium, followed by our new graduates, row by row, to return their regalia and receive their diplomas. Thank you.